Thomas J. Henry. The name you know, the firm you trust.
Pickle, let's go to the hotline. Out in Upshur County, one of the rare Cinderellas left standing in the Texas high school football playoffs. The slipper still fits for the Harmony Eagles, and we're pleased to be joined by the head coach, Jeremy Jenkins. Coach, how are you?
Man, I'm doing amazing. How are you guys?
I'll bet you're doing amazing. How was your weekend?
A whole lot of video, whole lot of work.
But I would imagine it probably beats the alternative, right?
Yes, a whole lot of fun. Yes, that's also a whole lot of fun.
I want to go back to last week. You guys are taking on a Newton, a state-ranked Newton squad that had been rolling, and you guys were able to go out there and pull out an incredible 36-32 victory, or 36-22 victory. Thank you to get the win. Going into that game, I think it's fair to call you guys underdogs. What was your message to your guys before you headed out there?
We went and watched them live because we won early. We watched them live, and to be honest, on the way home, we thought no chance because they're huge, fast, and they have kids that don't go two ways, and we do. On the drive back home, we just really thought, man, we're overwhelmed, and we watched a lot of film, and then by Monday, we're like, okay, we got a coin flip. I mean, we knew we had a coin flip of a game once we saw them on film, just some things we were going to exploit. And it's really that's what's happened about 3 weeks in a row. We're really overmatched physically. When by Monday, we're like, okay, we've got a coin flip. So we did not think we were the underdog. We really didn't. And, we didn't go in with that mindset at all. We kind of went in with the same mindset that we've had all year. I know a lot of people don't believe me, but that's really, we really thought we were going to win, to be honest with you. So the mindset was just go do what we've been doing and execute. But, if you just look at Newton take the field and Harmony take the field, they look like a 5A. I mean, I've coached at 5A. They're 5A size and speed. So, you wouldn't think we had a chance, but, we do some things better than they do, to be honest with you, and that's why we won the game.
You guys were able to come out with the win, but and the thing is, it's the third, in a lot of ways, I would say it was the third week in a row where you guys came in as, let's just say that the team may be chasing, to go first area round against Hooks.
There's no doubt.
Hooks, and then, of course, the win against West Rusk. I guess you kind of answered the question, but at this point, is there just this incredible belief within the program that there's no mountain that's too high?
I know, not many people are going to believe this, but, we were 0-4. You can ask. I told the kids we're going to win the region. We're 0-4. I said we're going to win the region because we have talent. It's just what I call first-year blues. We didn't know who was supposed to go here. We were running flexible in week 1, and we scrapped it, So the first 3 losses were like we go to White Oak, and we have like one play. I mean, I'm really not even kidding. So it's all predictable. And right about Wascom, we beat Wascom, and I'm telling you, Wascom's really, 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 really good. Wascom is a top 10 team in the state, in my opinion. We beat them, and that's when the kids started believing me. They were like, oh, okay, coach may be on to something. And then we're going to beat Dangerfield. Our quarterback, I don't know if he carries the ball about 25 times, and then he's everything. He got concussed the first quarter against Dangerfield. So we get in a hole and we're going to throw a wide receiver at quarterback. So that's kind of how we fell under the radar, right? People saw the Dangerfield game, and even that game is 21-21 in the third quarter, and that's without him. Like we go double tight and handle like we're not even in our offense. And then we kind of put the JV in, but the Dangerfield score was not what was fixing to happen. Like we were already moving the ball on them. So that's what kind of let us stay under the radar, if that makes sense. People thought, that game ended up being 49-20, but they didn't really know what happened. And our running back went out in the second quarter. Our starting running back, we just got him. Dude, we've been playing without him. And he's really our speed guy. Our other back is not a speed guy. So we've kind of known where we are, to be honest with you. But, you go Wascom, then you go Dangerfield, then you go New Waverly, then you go Hooks, then you go West Rusk, then you go Newton. And we've won 9 out of 10. So we've known there's not a Cinderella story hanging around anymore, no matter what, everybody else is thinking, to be honest with you. But we kind of like the role. We really don't care about the role, to be honest with you. Our motivation is to play for each other. So we don't get into all that stuff.
Chairman Jenkins, head coach of the Harmon Eagles, join us here at Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, hashtag TF Today. Coach, one of the many remarkable things here is that you're in your first year there. You've only been there since January. When you stepped foot on campus and you started getting a feel for what you were going to have there as far as this squad is concerned, did you think then that this was a possibility?
Oh, I knew it was. My first day here, we had a 300-pound lineman, and their best player last year, we had 5'11", 250-pound running back. They both transferred to Gilmer, 2 miles under my very first day. But I knew the talent was here. Like, you don't go to the state semifinals in this region without talent. Like, we have talent, obviously, right? We're not you don't beat the teams we beat without talent, right? So, number one, there's plenty of talent. But the most talented kid transferred my very first day here, and I still looked around and I'm like, well, you got every single solitary piece. Because, like I said, you don't win Region 3 without talent, right? We're not. We have pieces all over the place. We have big linemen. We have athletes. We have a quarterback that took on. We have receivers. But I knew we had the piece, and if those kids would have stayed, we'd really. It was a couple talented kids left. My very first day, they transferred to Gilmer. So, but I still knew. I was like, man, okay, this is realistic. I mean, you can see talent. I mean, we had the talent, so I knew. The whole time has been to win the region. And then really after the Dangerfield game, we changed we thought a realistic goal was to win state. The coaches didn't believe we had a chance to win the region. Finally, after, we played Dangerfield, they was like, Coach, you're right. And it took the kids probably beating West Rust. And they're like, okay, Coach, we can win the region. And then obviously if you can win this region, you can win the state. Because this region, come on, Dangerfield. And West Rust is just absolutely fantastic. We played Hooks round 2. They're back as an offer, D1 offers, right? Like, that's round 2. So if you can get out of Region 3, you're going to have a shot to beat anybody. I don't care what anybody says, because we've been playing fantastic teams.
You mentioned the talent that you have on your team, and it is palpable. You can see it, jumping off the screen at you when you watch the highlights. And one of the guy that I think has kind of taken center stage is QB1 for you, Boston Seahorn, who has been was good all year, and in the playoffs has been unconscious. What can you tell us about this young man? What is it about him that makes him special?
Well, and a lot of this is being in our first year. We didn't really know he could run this well till about 5 games ago, right? When the running back got hurt, we kind of morphed into this, and he's carrying it like 25, 30 times a game right now. So we're just kind of learning this about him, right? So it's been kind of interesting the way the team has morphed it, because we were a heavy, handed to our running back team. Now he is the running back, but he weighs about $155 maybe. So, I mean, when you're getting 25, 30 carries and he's rushing for 150, 200 yards a game, there's got to be some heart there, right? We're not handing it to a guy that weighs 220, because he's running between the tackles. So there's an insane amount of competitiveness and heart there to tote the rock 25, 30 times a game. And he threw for 215 yards the other night. He rushed 25 times. He had 8 tackles and a pick, and he weighs $155. So, the backs we've been seeing on the other teams are weighing 220. So, just to have the heart to run it between the tackles as much as he does 25 times a game, that's number one. And then obviously he's just talented. He could play college football, college baseball, college basketball. He can do everything. He could pole vault if he wanted to. He's probably fixing to be valedictorian of the class. He's an overachiever, and he's talented. He's fast, right? I'm not saying he's devoid of talent. He can do everything. Everything. He's our punter. He's the best, probably the best all-around athlete. I mean, every sport. He's just a phenom at everything he does, and he's a great kid. And, he is what makes us go. Make no mistake about it. It is about him. He makes everything go. He's a precision passer. He runs with power at 150 pounds. He runs with speed. He has intelligence, toughness. Like, he is what drives this train.
Well, go ahead, sir.
Sir?
Oh, no, awesome. So we're talking with Jeremy Jenkins, head coach of Harmony here on Texas Football Today. Coach, it's on to the next one. And the next one, 7 o'clock Friday at the Barry Center in Cypress. You get the Region 4 champion Poth. And I know you've been I know you've been looking at film, and I know you've been paying attention to what the Pirates are all about. What do you see on tape? Don't ask you to give away your game plan, but what do you see on tape? What's it going to take for you guys to get a win?
I see Harmony. They're us. They run our same offense the same way, the same formations, the same plays, and they're us. Right? You're going to look at both of us and be like, man, they're kind of low on talent. They don't have the blazers, blah blah blah. But what people don't understand, having tough, coachable kids is a talent, right? Their coaching is what I'm scared about, right? They have they're just Harmony. They're us to a T. You're going to see teams that do the same thing the same way. They're going to be in the right position. They're not going to beat you with just having a bunch of guys that run a 4-5. But we know for sure we're not going to scheme these guys up. We've been able to scheme, get some things open through scheming. The last month, we've really been able to scheme. You're not going to scheme them. Right, they're going to be in the right spot. You're going to have to execute. So we just see us. They're very similar. Their quarterback and running back toted a lot, and they do a million formations and do a lot of read plays. So it's what I told the coach. Do you see yourself when you see us? And he's like, yeah, they're thinking the same thing. So definitely not a contrast in styles.
It's going to be fun Friday night at the Barry Center in Cypress as the Harmony Eagles take on the Poth Pirates for a spot at AT&T Stadium in the 3A Division II State Championship game, and their head coach, Jeremy Jenkins. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on all your success, and go get them Friday night.
Bye-bye.
All right, there he goes, Jeremy Jenkins, head coach. Harmony Eagles joined us here at Texas Football Today. Remember, he mentioned it, but they started 0-4. They started the year in our computer rankings 60th in 3A Division II. 60th. I would need to go back and check the rankings after week 4. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. And where they live. I will tell you they were lower than 60th at that point. So what in the world? So yeah, let's go to the week 5 computer rankings. Let me just see this. Harmony. Oh no, they had actually moved up to 57. The computer was not fooled. But you're talking about, he obviously there was that belief within the program that they could succeed and they could get to this point. But nobody outside the program thought they could. Really and truly.
He even said he was like he had to convince his coaches a little bit.
Yeah.
But
they're through a very rough and tumble Region 3. And my picks come out Wednesday. I'll just say that. My picks come out Wednesday, and I don't know if I've decided who I think is going to win this game.
He hit the nail on the head. We'll be honest, there are some regions that if one team gets hot, we're like, okay, well, if you're getting hot at the right time, you should have a pretty easy path. Easy, not as battle tested.
You can win. You can be hot and just win.
You can't do that. You can't just fluke your way through Region 3 over here.
No, absolutely. So, it's going to be fun, Poth and Harmony for a spot at AT&T Stadium going on Friday at the Barry Center.